It's so easy to get in the mindset that children's movies are only made for kids. But lest we forget, the kids' movies are made by adults who know that a big part of their audience are the parents of the children. So it's necessary for there to be a comedic value for them as well. Welcome to Cinema Pills. And today, we are counting down our list of the top 10 adult jokes found in children's movies. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button. We are making new videos all the time, and we want you all there for each of them. Also, don't forget the bell icon. Okay, let's get into it. Number 10, Toy Story, Sid's Strange Toy. This was the first fully computer animated movie and featured a phenomenal cast, including Tom Hanks and Tim Allen. Toy Story, being a movie all about toys, seemed to be an easy movie to write off as only centered towards children. But for a sharp and quick-witted adult, you could catch a few things. Most notable is one of the toys that the evil kid Sid has made. It was a set of Barbie legs that were attached to a fishing pole. For those of you who don't really get it, it's a hooker. That's right, it's the visual equivalent to a horrible dad joke with a perverted twist. So our guess is that if any of you are laughing, it's only because of how corny the joke is. But now that you know, you'll never watch the movie the same way again. You're welcome. Number 9, The Little Rascals, Alfalfa's Hair. What 7-year-old boy hasn't wanted to be part of the He-Man Woman Haters Club? You get to be part of an awesome club, have a cool clubhouse, get to chill with your boys. Amazing things. But overall, girls were not allowed. Well, that didn't sit too well with one of the Little Rascals, Alfalfa. He had a major crush on a young lady named Darla.
My Alfalfanator, my delectable Darloony.
In one scene, he had to pull out all the moves. He got dressed up and got his hair perfect, with that one strand in the back pointing straight up. He took her out in a rowboat and sang to her. She was so moved that she put her hand over his head in the most loving way while pushing down his one straight strand of hair. To any adults who were watching, they really got the next part. The strand didn't stay down for long. It seemed to be Alfalfa's excitement that made it immediately stand back up. I think we all know what that one was hinting at. Way to go, Alfalfa. Number 8, Cars, Flashing Light. Cars, a Disney movie which is set in a fictional land where all of the beings are automobiles. How bad could it be, right? Well, surprisingly, it can get bad if you know what you're looking for. Take, for example, the big race at the beginning of the movie. In this scene, there are 2 female red cars named Mia and Tia.
I'm Mia. I'm Tia. We're like your biggest fans.
They love Lightning McQueen. As a matter of fact, they claim to be his biggest fans. They then proceed to flash him. Literally, they flash their headlights at him. I think we've explained that well enough for everyone to understand what's going on here. It's pretty obvious. Also, a bonus reference for you. Later, Lightning meets Sally, who has a tribal-style pinstriping tattoo just above her rear bumper. Anyone get the tramp stamp reference here? Well, you do now. Number 7, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Shell is tightening. 2014 saw a reboot of one of the best 90s children's movies ever, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Starring Megan Fox, it was meant to be a new spin on an old classic. Fox, being an attractive actress, was intentionally cast as such. But, as you would imagine, this could make for some awkward moments when she meets a group of teenagers. In the first scene, when April O'Neil, played by Fox, meets the Turtles, they start to question who she is and why she's following them. However, as Michelangelo can't help but to add some off-the-cuff comedic lines, he says, "She's so hot I can feel my shell tightening." Obviously, any adult will know what it means.
Oh, she's so hot I can feel my shell tightening.
We can hear you.
But the line is also delivered in a very creepy way. Come on, Mike. You're supposed to be our favorite turtle. Don't ruin it. Number 6, Shrek, Farquaad's Shortcomings. Shrek was a comedic masterpiece. It not only had amazing characters, but it was packed to the brim with adult humor. From the song "Duloc is a Perfect Place" to the time that an actual donkey says, "No one likes a kiss ass." There were plenty of choices. However, we felt it necessary to highlight Shrek with one of our choices. As the bad guy, Lord Farquaad was an incredibly short man. He lived in an enormous castle. Shrek picked up on it immediately. Upon approaching the castle, he says to Donkey, "Do you think maybe he's compensating for something?"
Do you think maybe he's compensating for something?
What a shot to Farquaad's manhood. Of course, no one under the age of 12 would have understood, but for the teens and adults, we knew exactly what it meant as soon as he said it. Way to go, Shrek. Number 5. Toy Story 2, Buzz Lightyear's Wings. We all saw in Toy Story how agile Buzz Lightyear is. When it comes to flying around the room, there's no one that can do it like he can. Well, almost nobody. In Toy Story 2, we are introduced to Cowgirl Jessie. When Buzz meets her, he drops the whole Space Ranger gig and turns into a love-struck 13-year-old boy. Or he seems to.
Well, I just want to say you're a bright young woman with a beautiful yarn full of hair. A hair full of yarn.
In one scene, we can see that Jessie can fly around the room nearly as well as Buzz does. When the toys see that the dog needs to be let out, Jessie swings into action, leaps off of books, does a loop-to-loop on the Hot Wheels track, and jumps straight for the door. Buzz's reaction? His wings immediately pop out. To all the grown-ups, you know what this represented. He got a little excited, didn't he? Number 4. Lego Batman Movie. Kids can be cruel. The Lego movies have always been favorites among adults. Much like Shrek, there are plenty of references thrown in for adults to be able to appreciate. One of the best times was when we are introduced to Robin. In the comics, the character's name is Dick Grayson until Batman takes him under his wing and then he becomes Robin. But in the Lego version of the movie, when they first meet, Grayson says, "My name is Richard Grayson, but the kids at the orphanage called me Dick." Batman responds with an amazing one-liner, "Yeah, well, kids can be cruel."
My name's Richard Grayson, but all the kids at the orphanage call me Dick.
Well, children can be cruel.
Yeah.
No one understands why, but we all know that Dick is a nickname for Richard. No doubt some parents will have to explain that fact to their kids, but we won't explain what Batman really means. Number 3. The Cat in the Hat, Dirty Ho. This Dr. Seuss classic stars Mike Myers at his best. Myers stays incredibly energetic throughout the entire movie. Much like Shrek, in which he also stars, Cat in the Hat contains a lot of adult humor, including his hat standing at attention, and the name that he almost gave his car, which was Super Hydraulic Instantaneous Transporter. That one's an acronym. But we laugh the hardest when the cat approaches the dog, Nevins, with a weapon in his hand, which happens to be a gardening hoe. He says, "All right, Nevins, time to die." After the dog runs off, the cat then calls it a dirty hoe.
Dirty hoe. I'm sorry, baby. I love you.
He throws it to the ground and then brings it back up, saying, "I'm sorry, baby. I love you." It was a little on the cringy side, but it was so blatant that it was hilarious. Number 2. Frozen. Foot size does not matter. How can an adult joke be slipped into such an innocent movie as Frozen? Well, the writers at Disney definitely did it, but they had to be quick about this one because of the audience. Frozen was one of the biggest Disney hits of all time. With 2 female main characters, this film was mainly marketed to young girls. In spite of this fact, though, we were able to get a bit of a chuckle in the sleigh ride scene with Kristoff and Princess Anna. Kristoff is shocked to learn that Anna has gotten engaged so quickly. When grilling her with questions about her new fiancé, he slips a question in there and asks, "Foot size?" Anna responds quickly as well by answering, "Foot size doesn't matter."
What's his favorite food?
Sandwiches.
Best friend's name?
Probably John.
Eye color.
Dreamy.
Foot size?
Foot size doesn't matter.
While all adults can laugh at this joke, men can especially be relieved to hear a woman actually say that statement for once. Thank you, Anna. Before we get to number 1, please give this video a like. We are always happy to know that we are making videos that people appreciate. It inspires us to keep doing what we're doing. Now, on to number 1. Number 1, Gus Gus Beads. We'll start this entry off by saying we think that this bit of humor was unintentional. Cinderella could be considered the most beloved and innocent of all the Disney movies. Although the evil stepmother and sisters bring a bit of darkness to the movie, it's made lighter by the lovable mice that keep Cinderella company. In one particular scene, they are helping to make her a beautiful dress for the ball. This is where things go a little sideways. As the mice get everything together, the beads for the necklace spill all over the floor. Gus, being the cute helper that he is, decides to bend down and pick some up. Unfortunately for Gus and the viewers, Jacques is picking up some beads as well, but his beads are still on the necklace, and as he picks them up, the vantage point of the viewer takes their minds from innocent to in the gutter in a matter of seconds. The way the scene looks appears as if Jacques is picking up a different kind of bead, if you get our drift. While we don't think this was on purpose, we can agree that Cinderella just isn't the same now that we know. Did we leave anything off? Are there other movies with great adult jokes in them? Comment below and let us know. Also, be sure to check out some of our previous videos as well. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.